Hello, Saints. Greetings. Here, sitting out on the back deck here, getting ready to have a little lunch. Thought I would take some time to share a little bit of things that's on my mind about our relocation program to Kenya, also about our mission base in America, as well as the one here in Africa. I'm in the country of Kenya, and so we're establishing a mission base called Paradise Salai here. We also have a mission base in America in Southeast Georgia, which is called Paradise Village. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit about bridging the gap between both of these mission bases. We talk a lot about relocation or travel to Africa, particularly the country of Kenya. And I posted some information recently on my Facebook and WhatsApp pages. If you haven't already connected with us on our WhatsApp Chat and Connect International group, contact me. I can give you the link to join that group, and you can be a part of fellowshipping with us, answering any questions that you might have, and just establishing some dialogue, because it's very important that you have connection with people on the continent, trusted people that you can put some confidence in to help you navigate through some of the processes. And now I realize that the average American really does not have access to what we call discretionary income. Many people are working their jobs, maybe 2 or 3 jobs, just to make basic necessities because of the cost of living in America. And so we're very sensitive to that. A lot of times I talk about those who are retired, have a retirement income, whether that's Social Security or military pension or company pension, because to live here in Kenya on long-term permits, you need to have at least 24,000 USD from outside of Kenya. You're not allowed to work with the Class K permit, which is called an ordinary resident permit, and most retirees use it. The age limit is up to you must be at least, that is, 35 years of age. You must make at least 24,000 assured annual income from outside of the U.S., and you can apply for a Class K visa, which allows you to stay in the country for 3 years, and then it's renewable after 3 years. Let me talk to you a little bit about the cost involved with that. Now, if you're going to use a lawyer, which I suggest you use a lawyer to help navigate you through the process, but you don't have to. You can file all these applications online. If you do it on your own online, the cost in USD will come out to about 6,500 US dollars from start to finish. That's the application fees. That's the issuance fee that you have to pay once you're approved. So talk to me about the breakdown of those costs, and I'll be happy to share that with you. I'll put it in the description to this video, in fact. Now, if you're going to use a lawyer, the lawyer fees are around $2,000. So if you're going to use a lawyer, you can expect, or you got to be prepared to pay at least 8,000 USD. And if you're going to do it on your own, be prepared or have at your disposal 6,500. And I did the process. I used some legal sources to help me get it done. So it cost me around that same amount, that 8,500 to get it started, the 8,000 that is, excuse me. And it took about 4 months for me to get approved. Once I got approved, I applied for an alien card, which is another small sum of money that it costs you to apply for that, where you have an ID card as a foreign national here in Kenya. They also stamp your passport with the number of years you were approved. Now, I was approved for up to 3 years. My permit lasts from, applied in 2005, so it expires in 2028. Then it's renewable. It's a fee of 2,000 a year. The breakdown is 2,000 a year, but it's renewed once every 3 years. So I paid the initial fee, and then in the end of the 3 years, I'll pay the 6,000 again to renew it. And that's how it works. I'm assuming it goes on indefinitely. So it's a great program for those who are retired or have income from outside of the U.S. And I know that's a high cost for most people. Most average American does not have an extra $8,000 just sitting around. At least I know I didn't when I was living in America and did not have access to the resources that came into my hands after I started my company. And even if you're trying to apply for it yourself, you don't have that $6,500 just sitting around. So this is something you have to plan for, you have to save for, you have to make sure that you have that outside income to meet the minimum requirement of 24,000 a year. Now, this is for those of you who are looking to stay long term in the country. And just because you have a 3-year permit don't mean you can't leave the country and travel back to America, travel to other neighboring countries or anywhere else around the world. But that allows you to have permanent resident status in Kenya. Now, there's also an alternative for short-term stays. You can apply for an ETA, which is an electronic travel authorization. They have a 90-day single entry, which costs you $30 US. They have a 5-year multiple entry ETA, which allows you to visit the country as many times as you like within a 5-year period. Though you still have to stay for 90 days, but you don't have to reapply for another visa when you come back or another travel authorization. So that may be beneficial for some of you. The cost again for the single entry, I believe, is $30 US, and for the 5-year multiple entry is $185. So for those of you who can't come up with the monies for the long-term visa and you want to just stay temporarily or part-time in Kenya, that ETA may be a viable option for you. Much less expensive, of course, but again, you have that 90-day limit on the amount of time you can spend in Kenya on that one visit. But it's definitely an option for you. When I first came here, I started with that option, then later applied for my permanent resident status. So there are two options. The ETA is your short-term option. The Class K for ordinary residents could be a long-term option for those who are looking to set up a new home here. And of course, because the cost of living is so much less than it is in America, you'll be able to recoup that cost of those permits by reducing the cost of your living here. Here I'm staying in a town called Nakuru. Come on, that's fine, honey. You can bring the lunch. My wife is presenting me a little lunch here, so I'm going to have some lunch while I sit and talk with you. I'm living in Nakuru, as I was saying. I have a 2-bedroom, 3-bath apartment. It cost me $115 US a month. Has a front and back deck. I'm on the back deck today. Outside of the kitchen, there's a front deck out of the living room or sitting area, they call it in Kenya. So I'm sitting out here and enjoying. Has 2 bedrooms, 3 baths, $115. So though that initial cost may seem very high for most of you, I can see how you can recoup that money on the back end because your cost of living is so much less here. You'll be able to save a lot of money. So when that 3 years roll around for you to renew your ETA or your visa, that is, or the work permit, you should be able to have that money sitting in the bank just waiting for you to do it. Everything here is a third or a fourth of the price of things in America. And I gave you that real example. Housing is one of the number one costs to have to cover in America, but here housing costs are very inexpensive depending on the lifestyle you're trying to live. I choose to live a modest, humble life here. As I mentioned, I don't live in Nairobi. Nairobi is a little more expensive, but you can still find a reasonable, high quality apartment or place to live for around $400 a month. And of course, in America, you can't find that. So you have options to recoup the cost from the high cost of the permits. You can also use the short-term visa, ETA, 90-day visa. So if you're retired and you have a regular income, you can just come and stay part-time of the year. If you want to get away from the winter, for instance, get away from the cold weather, because here in Kenya, the weather's mild all year round. So you may want to come and stay for those 3 months during the winter months, say December, January, February, and head back to America in March when the weather's nice there. So that gives you some options. And also for those of you who may not have a retirement money, of course, I know that most employees, if you have a semi-decent job, you can only get off for maybe 2 months out of the year, 2 weeks, out of the year. So you may not be able to come and travel that often, back and forward. So you want to find now a way to produce more income streams for yourself. Now, I have a private security business based in Atlanta, Georgia. I offer franchise management programs for those who have security experience or those who just want to be sales consultants or establish accounts where you can receive monies from those accounts as another stream of income. If you're interested in that, you can reach out to me. We call it a franchise manager program. If you have security experience, of course, you can be a franchise manager where you can secure and manage your own accounts and receive 90% of the income from those accounts. Okay, so my security company is what sustains me in Kenya. It provides over $6,000 a month for me. And if you can get some accounts or get an account, find someone who can work those accounts for you while you're there, and even when you're here, you still have an additional stream of income or your primary source of income by using that franchise manager program. I also have a Bible college and seminary that's available online. Many people use that as an affiliate program where they receive 25% of all the tuition from students who they enroll in our distance educational programs. That can also be an additional source of income that produces over $500 a month for me while I'm here in Kenya. Residual passive income. And you can also find other income opportunities online or start a business back in the US or whatever country you're in and have someone work that business for you while you're here. And of course, you have to work out some type of compensation plan for them. So there are options. Here, my wife has brought me some wonderful watermelon. Kenya has a great agricultural areas where you can grow almost anything, and everything grows wonderfully here. So, excuse me while I take a bite of that, because watermelon is one of my favorite fruits. So, again, keep in mind these things. I've given you the information about the long-term options with the Class K visa. That's really for people who may be in retirement or have a source of income outside. You only have to be 35 years of age, have at least 24,000 USD coming from outside of Kenya. You're not allowed to work on that permit, nor are you allowed to work on that ETA. You're simply coming as a visitor or a tourist, and the Class K means you're just an ordinary resident who wants to enjoy the beautiful, wonderful life. As you see in the background here, we're in outskirts of Nakuru, beautiful, peaceful environments that you can enjoy here. If you want more information, feel free to reach out to me, affordableafricanhorizons.com. I'll be more than happy to provide you any information that I can, answer any questions that you have. If you want a more extensive discussion after I do some research for you, we can arrange for a video or a phone call. So reach out to me again, and I want to see each of you live your dreams. I know there are barriers for some people, but there are ways to overcome those barriers, whether you choose to come here short-term, long-term, or to enhance your life in whatever country you're in, whether that's America, Europe, Asia, or island nation. I want to be able to help you to find some solutions to overcome those challenges in your life. Well, thanks again for allowing me this time. I look forward to chatting with you in the next video. In the meantime, I want to see you live your best life. Ciao.